get started, if everybody would rise and we'll say a prayer. And the pledges. Start with a prayer, Brother Chaplain.
Everybody please bow your heads. O God, divine architect of the universe, we bow with gratitude to thy omnipotence. We acknowledge thee as the creator and preserver of all things. We thank thee for thy daily blessings conferred on us. Thank you for supporting us in our undertakings. More particularly, O God, crave thy presence at this meeting. Do thou preside over us in the spirit of peace, love, and charity. To thy holy name, power and dominion, forever. Amen.
So may it be.
Now, if you'll join me, pledge to the U.S.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Now, Brother Senior Warden, would you please take over the program?
Yes, Worshipful Master. Good evening. Worshipful Master, Right Worshipful Sir, wardens, brethren, guests, and especially our honored past masters. My name is Chris Choate, and I am the Senior Warden of Sugar Land Masonic Lodge number 1141. On behalf of Sugar Land Lodge number 1141 and the Worshipful Master Sammy Larby, we thank each of you for attending this year's Past Masters Night and are deeply honored by your presence. Tonight is about honoring the men who have served Masonry with distinction and honor by placing themselves in a position of leadership not only at the local lodge level, but in many cases supporting Masonry in the broader context of the Grand Lodge of Texas, as well as other appendant bodies that depend upon the presence of past masters who form the backbone of this great fraternity. Will the past masters present tonight, regardless of the lodge or lodges you have served, please rise. Would our senior and junior, or senior steward, or master of ceremonies, and we have some of our entered apprentices that are going to escort you to your seats here on the west side of the altar. So, sir. And I think we do have enough chairs for everyone, so we've had a very good showing of past masters this evening. Fantastic.
Probably just missing each other.
Yeah, I think we outnumbered the rest.
Right in the middle.
Worshipful Master, I think we have everybody seated. What a good looking group of past masters. In beginning this year's presentation, I would like to start by introducing the officers of Sugarland Masonic Lodge number 1141 who are faithfully serving during this 2021-2022 Masonic year. Officers, please rise when I call your name. And this will include some of our past masters who are also serving again this year in the officer corps. I'd like to start with our worshipful master, Samuel Arby, our junior warden, Robert Rogers. Our treasurer is not able to be here this evening, and that is Thad Olive. Our secretary, who's in the audience, is Right Worshipful District Deputy Grand Master for Masonic District number 108 of the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of Texas, David Burnt. Our chaplain, also another past master, David Householder Jr. Thank you, sir. Our senior deacon was not able to be here. That's Matthew Woodard. Also on, I believe he's on vacation this week, our junior deacon, Oscar Ochoa. We're also missing our marshal, Dr. Robert Moscont. We do have our master of ceremonies, which he was helping to seat you this evening, past masters, who is Stephen Simon in the back, who is one of our newest master masons. We also have our senior steward who prepared that great meal for us this evening, Richard Olson. And Richard also is a recently raised master mason. Our junior steward, who is in the audience as well, is Randy Whitaker, serving again as an officer. Tyler is also in the audience on the back row, Everett Highnote. So this is your officer corps for this Masonic year, so let's give them a big hand. You guys may be seated. And thank you. One of the significant challenges that occurred since we last hosted a past masters night was the unfortunate accident that rendered the lodge room in a condition where it could not be used. The accident occurred on the afternoon of Monday, April the 26th, and involved a motorist that experienced a medical issue that caused him to lose control of his vehicle, and he crashed essentially into this wall right here, from about that doorway all the way over close to the junior warden's station. So it actually damaged the chairs here. It threw debris all the way across the lodge room. It's very dramatic. But we are fortunate that nobody was in this lodge room at the time. We were only probably about an hour or two from actually gathering for our Monday evening fellowship. And we are also blessed that none of the structural aspects of the building were damaged. We actually had a structural engineer that looked at it to make sure that everything was in good shape, structurally speaking. So, consequently, the lodge was given dispensation and the charter was moved to Morton Lodge number 72. We are truly grateful for their support during this time, and the first meeting held back in the lodge room was this past Monday, October the 18th. Some work remains, but we are elated to be back home and to have you here today to celebrate the resumption of business back in the lodge room. So, if you can't tell, one of the things that's outstanding is still trying to figure out what to do with the chairs that were damaged. It was significant. They were actually bent over in places. So we're working with insurance. There's still some punch list items that need to be done, but I think it looks amazing, Worshipful Master and past masters. I hope you like what you're seeing as well. So we'll continue to work to try to get everything in order and back in place. There's still a lot of things shuffled around, so it's good to be home. Despite the ongoing challenges of COVID-19, the Lodge continues to be active in fulfilling the attributes of brotherly love and relief. Here are some noteworthy items. 4 scholarships were awarded to local area high school seniors totaling $12,000, which was twice the amount awarded the prior Masonic year. The Honesty and Integrity Award was given to 2 Dulles High School juniors. 4 teachers were given honorariums in recognition of their outstanding achievements in the classroom, and the amount that we gave out totaled $2,000. The Golden Trowel was awarded to Aaron Tzinski for his ongoing contributions to Sugarland Lodge in craft masonry in Texas. The Brethren continue to support Imperial Demolay, which is a fairly new chapter of Demolay International that was founded at Sugarland Lodge to promote Masonic principles among our local youth, which is it's a wonderful program to have in a lodge. They say that about 90% of boys that go through Demolay end up becoming Master Masons. So, and I believe that there's actually an initiation that's coming up, and some additional boys are about to be brought into Demolay. So that's very exciting to see that happening. The thriving Come and Take It Grotto was formed due to the superb efforts of Sugarland members, especially past Master Sweeney, who was instrumental in bringing and promoting the grotto in Fort Bend County. How many members are currently in the grotto now?
Currently, right now, initiated 54. We started off with 43.
Which is fantastic. I mean, we had discussions about charter members and trying to make sure that we were able to get enough to form the grotto. And I think that throughout Fort Bend County, it's not just been a Sugarland thing. I think there's been support across lodges in District 108, 108, and beyond. So, and I believe that past Master Hynode is also involved in the officer line at this point. So as, is it secretary or reporter in the grotto?
Secretary.
Yeah,
Secretary. So again, it shows that the members of Sugarland Lodge are very actively involved, including our past masters. Sugarland Lodge, in conjunction with Come and Take It Grotto,
Come and take it.
that was kind of like,
Yeah.
So-
Not a soft car on that one.
served as a drop-off point for hurricane relief for people that were devastated in southeast Louisiana from the impact of Hurricane Ida. Many truckloads, and I mean truckloads, we're not talking about a pickup truck load. We had, in some cases, did we have an 18-wheeler that went, or a large box truck? So we had several trips that were made across to Louisiana, and so it was a significant humanitarian effort, and it truly was impressive. So we had the foyer here loaded up with supplies, not just one time, but several times. So, and it was supported not just in District 108, but was an event that took place kind of throughout the Houston metropolitan area. So I'm very proud though of the work that again the leadership of Come and Take It.
Come and take it.
Good job. So that they did to pull that together, and it came together quickly, like within overnight, a couple of days. So that's what Masonry is all about. The Lodge continues to support the Fort Bend Women's Shelter by providing wonderful Thanksgiving meals to those being served by this honorable nonprofit. And I know Past Master Tunnel has been kind of leading the charge on that for several years. I've been involved in the Lodge since 14-15, and I think that you've been heading that up the entire time that I've been. So again, another example of a past master that continues to serve his fellow man and in our community at large. The Fantastic Teeth program continues to be supported by your lodge, and this year we will be providing enough kits to support all the first grade students at 4 local elementary schools. I think we started out doing 2, we expanded to 3 last year, and this year we're up to 4. So I think that's a a program by the Texas Masonic Family and Children Charities, and so it's great that we're involved in that. Brothers continue to be actively involved in support of Masons and widows that need relief, and have helped conduct several Masonic funerals, which is always sad to have to do that, but it's something that we do for our brothers that have laid down their working tools. And so that support was not only about Sugarland members, but many of us attended funerals related to members of other lodges and so forth in support. So, and I know there were hospital visits, there are phone calls that are going on when brothers are in need to see how things are going. So we're working hard to do a good job in that area. Worshipful Master is setting the example related to that, and has real passion for that. So I applaud him for that. Recently, 2 brothers were raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason, and 2 other individuals have been recently initiated into Masonry and are progressing through their work. They are supported by several individuals, including several individuals that hold esoteric certificates issued by the Committee on Work of the Grand Lodge of Texas. So this is one of our Rolo is one of our new initiates, and then Neil has volunteered to help us with PAMA. They both have service hard and are working hard to work through the degrees. So it's exciting to see that happening here at Sugarland Lodge. Brothers at Sugarland Lodge continue to be actively involved in Masonry beyond the 4 walls of Sugarland. The current District Deputy Master of Masonic District 108 is Right Worshipful David Carl Burnt, who has recently completed the last of his official visits for 2021. I believe, sir, that you did that back in September. So congratulations. I know that you've worked hard and put a lot of time and energy into the district and served with honor and distinction. So congratulations on your year and for the continued representation of Sugarland Lodge in that manner. Further, in York Rite Masonry, the principal officers of the Royal Arts Chapter, the Council of Royal and Select Masters, and the Commandery of Knights Templar are all held by Sugarland members. So I know we've got, again, Right Worshipful Burnt is currently the High Priest of the Royal Arts Chapter, the Richmond Royal Arts Chapter, and Past Master Highnote is currently the Thrice Illustrious Master of Richmond Council, and I am currently serving as the Eminent Commander of Fort Wayne Commandery number 74. So I think that's great representation. And then finally, members of Sugarland Lodge continue to be actively involved in leadership of the Masters, Wardens, and Secretaries Association for District 108. So I think that's outstanding. And the lodges are working hard to kind of come together and to make that organization be beneficial and of value to all 8 lodges in the district. So Past Master Spencer, I think, has made himself available this next year for leadership. So thank you, sir, for doing that. And I've made myself available as well for a position. I know that Right Worshipful Burnt continues to be heavily involved and so forth. So I think that's just awesome. So hopefully this helps you see that your lodge is alive and well, and the support of past masters remain critical to the long-term success of the lodge. For those of us that are not past masters, it is recognized that the journey to becoming a past master is a road not easily traversed, especially in active lodges such as Sugarland. For those of you that have been in the East, reflect upon the journey that led you to becoming the principal officer. Think about the challenges you faced in balancing your time among the 3 principal facets of life: your service to God and those in need, your usual vocations including family, and hopefully some occasional rest and relaxation. Time is precious, and for past masters, many years are spent working through the chairs, preparing for one's time in the East, and then executing a plan that was developed with care and concern for the lodge and the brethren served. This is a great responsibility, and one not taken lightly by those who earn the right to wear the hat and wield the gavel. How did you feel when it was over? Was it a rewarding experience? Were you exhausted? Did you feel appreciated and valued? Had you accomplished the things that were important to you? Did peace and harmony prevail during your time in the East? Did you contemplate what was to follow? As I look out at this group of past masters, I am truly in awe of the many years of service to the craft. I know a significant number of you well and served with many of you during my short time in Masonry. And every worshipful master since I first stepped into Sugarland Masonic Lodge in 2014 has served with distinction and honor. I believe that to be the case because the internal qualifications are what matter to each of you. And you poured your heart and soul into your time in the East and continue to do so today as the great architect has enabled you. That is what makes Masonry great, and it is what carries us forward regardless of these challenging times when many in society are not interested in things such as brotherly love, relief, and truth. Those fundamental attributes of all Masons remain critical, and past masters play an important role in their facilitation. As we progress through our degrees, each brother is left with a charge to reflect upon. As an entered apprentice, you were told to seek counsel from well-informed brethren who will always be as ready to give good counsel in return. As a fellow craft, you learn the importance of properly engaging brethren that may have gone astray and to judge them in an open and honest manner, admonish them with friendship, and if necessary, see that justice prevails. As a master, you were advised to correct the shortcomings of less informed brethren and to preserve the reputation of the fraternity. It is interesting that all three charges returned to relationships among brethren, and those to whom much has been given, much is expected. Past masters play a critical role in such matters of the fraternity. Wisdom gained through years of brotherly interactions have prepared each of you to give counsel to those that have not had your experiences. Such wisdom is needed more than ever in a world where concepts of tolerance and respect are lacking. So what are the duties of a Mason after he has stepped down from his position in the East? That is something that I am sure each of you have contemplated and to which different opinions abound. This is a question that I have not had to yet face, as my time in the East is still undetermined, but here is some food for thought. First, all past masters have a wealth of knowledge and experience that is valuable to the lodge and often desperately needed. Do not underestimate your importance after your time in the East has come to an end. I have heard past masters refer to themselves as has-beens, and this is far from the truth. You are not has-beens. Think about your passions and talents and be ready to fill in as time permits and necessity dictates. Many hands make light of the load, and when past masters leverage their talent, it can be unleashed to help lodges and brothers be successful in their quest for brotherly love, relief, and truth. That's those three principal tenets of Masonry, right? That's where it all begins. This reminds me of the important symbolism of the beehive. It is an emblem of industry and recommends the practice of that virtue to all created beings, from the highest seraph in the heavens to the lowest reptile of the dust. It teaches us that as we came into the world endowed as rational and intelligent beings, so we should ever be industrious ones, never sitting down contented while other fellow creatures around us are in want, when it is in our power to relieve them without inconvenience to ourselves. This reinforces the importance of having the support of our past masters as an important part of the Masonic hive. Further symbolism and ritual are critical to the craft and uniquely set us apart from other fraternal organizations. I am confident in saying that past masters through the ages have been the chief architects of esoteric wisdom and ritual, and Masonry would not be what it is today without each and every one of you. Beyond the lodge, all past masters in Texas are members of the Grand Lodge. How many of you participate in the annual Grand Communication and make your voices heard by helping to shape Masonry in Texas through the passage of Masonic law and the election of officers? Granted, making the pilgrimage to Waco is a significant undertaking and not possible for everyone. However, if you have the means, it is a privilege you have earned. Plus, it is a great time to fellowship and network with brother Masons from around the state. Know that several of us are making this trek each year, and we would be happy to have you with us during this auspicious occasion. And several of you, we've been up there for the last several years. I'm not a voting member, obviously, because I haven't sat in the East. But it is an interesting process to see how our Grand Lodge operates and has for many, many decades and now centuries. So I would now ask each past master to stand, if you are able, and introduce yourself and any family members that are with you this evening. And also, if you would, give us the years you served, thereabouts, and if you have a nugget of wisdom or a funny anecdote to share, please feel free to share it. This is something that all the rest of us really look forward to. So I will now open up the floor to our past masters and give you the opportunity to introduce. If you would rather not speak, that's fine, but let us at least know who you are. Past Master Mavis, would you lead off and introduce yourself to our guest? I believe your year in the East was 1986 and 87.
Yep.
Is that correct, sir? So
Got it on my hand.
thank you for being here this evening. So
Well, I'm looking around and it looks the same and it looks different. It looks the same, but it's sure been kept well and it's been added to. And I'm so proud of y'all. I'm a little proud of my year because I tried my best to carry on the tradition and pass it on, and I thought I did. But anyhow, you got me. I don't know how to explain it. It's the first time I've been at a loss for words. I noticed up there on the pictures, one thing got me worried. My picture's up there, and there's two little black flags on each side of me.
yes.
So, Grim Reaper's close. I'm 82 years old. I'm not in the best health, but hanging on. And I wish all of you and the lodge as a whole great things in the future. And you'll always be the place I look up to. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Past Master Harrison.
Mark Harrison, I believe it was 97, 98. I'd like to congratulate the senior warden on a fine presentation tonight. One of the skills that that you're going to need as a master or any effective person is good communications. You've done real well.
Thank you, sir.
My wife is here, Cindy, my number one. And she's always with me, and I'm very honored about that, and I feel very good about that. 50th year high school reunion. And there aren't as many of us as there were. And some people gave their last goodbyes as we were there because their health is not good. And it made me think, we really don't have much time to leave an impact as Masons. But you know, every time we meet, we learn how we should meet, how we should act when we're meeting and together, and how we should talk. You know, there's a lot of lessons in Masonry, but if we remember that one, that kind of tells us a lot about how we ought to do our business. I'm proud of all the officers that have served before me and after me, and it's always a thrill to get to come home. So thank you for what you've done tonight and for this time.
That's great to see you, sir. Past Master Tunnel, I put you up on the front row, so you're third up.
My name is Michael Tunnel, past master 2015, 2016. I kind of feel like a broken record player whenever I attend the past masters night, but I repeat the same message because I think it's that important, primarily for those that are in line to go to the East. Senior warden, chief among them, should tradition prevail. The role of the worshipful master is not that of a president, and is not that of a general or a prime minister or anything like that. The best way to describe the role of a worshipful master is a servant leader, or the chief of the servants. You were elected to that position. You weren't appointed. You didn't get it just because you've been showing up. You did it because all the brothers of the lodge in question have agreed, maybe even unanimously agreed, that you should be the one running the show for 12 months. That's a huge honor. And it is important to remember that the humbleness that needs to come with that honor that is bestowed upon you. So that's why I stress, I emphasize that you are the servant leader, that you are the chief servant of the lodge. Because your place is always service. Everything you do is ultimately to serve the members of your lodge. At the end of the day, everything you do from that chair has to be about serving the members of this lodge. I also wanted to say you've done an excellent job tonight organizing this. I also felt it noteworthy to especially say thank you to Senior Steward for the excellent barbecue. I'm glad we had him cook rather than, Live Oak Grill's not bad at all, but that beats the pants off Live Oak Grill. So I also want to say that I remember when I was senior warden, I did a past masters night during my time in the West. It was some of the first times I'd met some of the past masters who shown up. Some of them weren't even around anymore. I was amazed by how much past master Mavis can talk. I was surprised to hear he didn't have as much to say. But that was one of the first things that blew me away when I was standing where you are. Just how long Doug can go. I'm eternally grateful for the time I had in the East and all the time I've had serving this lodge, especially from the East. Thank you very much.
Past Master Tunnel was the first person I met when I walked into Sugarland Lodge, and he was sitting on the bench out in the foyer. So, when I became a Master Mason, we were in the East at that time. So, did a wonderful job. So, and then we have past Master Threadgill, who asked for me to be his treasurer during his year, which was the first office I held in Masonry. Sir, it's good to see you this evening, so the floor is yours.
It's nice to see you. My brother Michael Threadgill, past master of Sugarland 1141, 2017, 2018. folks that were around then may remember that toward the end of the preceding Masonic year, to mine, that we had been put under alert that the sky was falling in terms of our economic stability here as Sugarland. And Brother Choate here happens to be an accountant, very good with numbers. Through his efforts and through the efforts of all of the brothers of the lodge, I think we helped more fundraisers during my year than probably any other Masonic year, at least that I'm aware of. We made sure that the ship was righted, at least for the time being. And we even were going to vote on a increase in dues that year, but then we decided we had done so well that we didn't even need to do that. And I think that happened the year after mine, anyways. So it goes. I guess the main thing as I reflect upon my year in the East, that was helpful is to have a lot of flexibility. You come in with a plan. Oftentimes you formulated, what you want your year to be like for, last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, since you've been in line, and then things change. I know Hurricane Harvey happened in my year, so we shut down a little bit of time during that, and we started making calls to all of our brothers to make sure that everybody was okay. And we started making sure that they got money from Grand Lodge if they needed, things of that nature. And like I said, I wasn't planning on having so many fundraisers. I just, it happened because we thought that the need had arose. So, but now as I look back on it, and I think that, man, I had to be flexible. I look at the brothers that have had to face this COVID outbreak, and, my year was easy by comparison. So, I'll sit down and shut up, and maybe they can tell you some more about how they have to be flexible when half of their year got shut down. Things of that nature. But it was a privilege and an honor to sit in the East. I'm humbled to be here tonight amongst all of my brethren. Thank you.
You needed a good treasurer, because I was the one before that.
No. It's interesting too, when you think about leadership. The lodge is blessed to have some mutual funds that have been in place for many, many years. And when we talk about the scholarships that were awarded this year, it's those mutual funds that are enabling that to occur. So that's a lot of foresight that occurred, with the brethren that went before us, past masters, applaud them for past master Elliott. Good to have you here this evening, sir.
Good to be here. I want to start off by saying that I was raised in Sugarland Lodge a few years ago. I'm Brady Elliott. I'm the past master of Martin Lodge number 72. And I am the junior past master of Dorg 520. Yeah. I want to have a little levity here because I've had quite a bit of experience in masonry in a lot of offices and a lot of some other organizations, including I'm a trustee of the Scotch Rite of Houston Valley and a member trustee of the Scotch Rite Hospital in Dallas. As I worked my way up to the east, my senior
Martin Year, our master was sick, I got to fill in for him. That was a notorious event, as you recall, because I broke the lodge's gavel that dated over 100 years. I didn't think that I was going to get into these, but they took me anyway. That year was a year that we celebrated, I believe it was 125 years of the existence of Martin Lodge. The Grand Master and all of his team arrived to help us celebrate that. Unfortunately, I forgot the names and to introduce about 3/4 of them. But, you know, you're the master, so you go forward. You mentioned this year, Master of Doric this year. We only meet 5 times a year. And 2 of those meetings, except for having visitors there, I did not have enough members there to open the lodge because of the pandemic. We were able to open, we were able to do business, but it did, in fact, impact a lot of masonry. A lot of our brothers succumbed to this pandemic, and so it was a busy time. A lot more, thank goodness, survived it. But it was a stressful time for masonry. Attending Grand Lodge in January, I think the Grand Master put it very clearly when he was talking about the impact on masonry and the fact that we survive and will survive and will go forward. To carry forward my journey through the East, second to the last meeting of our lodge where we elected officers, I stepped down to sign the minutes and promptly did a double backflip off the boat. And I will survive it, but I will end with that.
Thank you, sir, for your continued service and for what you had to do last year during COVID. So it was truly stressful. So, Past Master Bird, great to see you this evening, sir.
Yeah, I could make it. Thanks to the judge here. He wouldn't brought me here tonight. He called and said we were going. I'd forgotten all about it. Somebody knocked on the door. It was him. So I had no choice. But I have to admire and respect you folks, my brothers and all, for what you have done to this lodge to get it fixed back up the way it goes. And it makes it been good to me all the way around, and I have no complaints. I'm not going to be a long talker. But everybody here tonight, there's some familiar faces, some of them too familiar. Don't point no fingers, that's one right there. Thanks, he's been good to me. Thanks to the judge, he got me here tonight, like I said, I wouldn't go. He called. My wife said, Judge is here to pick you up. He picked me up. Guess what? Judge brought me over here tonight too. And I admire all of you for the work you've done getting this guy back together. You've done together. Certainly Lodge is number 1 in my book. And let's keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Past Master Bird was one of the individuals that signed my petition back in 2015. So thank you, sir. It was good to meet with you and for taking care of me at that time. Past Master Borst, good to have you here this evening. So,
well, it's a pleasure to be here. I was past master of Katy in 2009-10, and I'm the junior at Washington 18, so I know what that feels like. Only haven't had 2 years in a row there. So, and I'm just grateful to be here. Probably one of the first lodges I went to after I joined Katy back in 2002. We're in the same district, and I spent a lot of time here last year. His predecessor and Aaron's as well, following Aaron's. It's a great lodge, love being here. But I want to take this time right now to thank you for allowing us to have the Eastern Star here. I am the current worthy matron. Julie Martin is the current, sorry, I always doing that. I'm the worthy patron, she's the worthy matron. Well, you got the M in there, you know, so you guys have been very gracious to us. I know we've served the meal, we dragged it over to Morton. You've been very receptive, and we're going to try and clean up some of the cabinets and stuff. And we'll be back in here for our first meeting next month. opportunity to meet over at Rosenberg, and they've been very, very gracious hosts. Their Eastern Star left their stuff out overnight, and a lot of them have joined us. So it's a great district, it really is. We also, and my brother was there with us, we did a funeral a couple weeks ago. And then we combined because the member was a member of both, and you were there. Both the Rosenberg and the Sugar Land Eastern Star. I was able to be a part of it, so was Julie. It was done very well. We had a lot of nice comments about that. So the Eastern Star, the DMLA, and there are many people in this district who are very gracious to our rainbow as well. A couple of us here from Katy, and others are a member of the board there. So the coming out of the East and working your way out the East, it's the brotherly love, but it's the community. It's what we all do for each other. It's what we learn from each other. And I guess other than I can't thank you guys enough for what you do for the community, Star, Rainbow, and DMLA. The only advice I usually give the new masters coming up is, remember, everybody's a volunteer. And you got to treat them such. You can lead them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't hold his head under it, right? So, 19 years high school teacher, that was what I say. So, thank you for what you're doing. I wanted to be here. I wanted to bring Julie here to show you some of the people that are here, all the great work you do, and keep it up. Very proud to be in this district. Thank you.
I know Katie's got a lot of stuff going on, very active and busy lodge, so I'm impressed. I know we have the worshipful master here this evening, so Brother Lynn, thank you for coming out. And of course, Brother Past Master Spencer, also Past Master of Katy, so we'll get to you here shortly. So, Past Master Whitaker, the floor is yours, sir.
I've been into the East once. Prior to that, I was junior deacon 1 year. I had most of my offices after I was a worshipful master, as I kept serving this lodge. I was worshipful master, then I went back to the kitchen.
That is correct.
As a senior steward. Well, when you go to the East, back, start over. Then I went to, I guess, a chaplain for a couple of years. Marshall. Something else. I think so. There's only about 4 offices that I really haven't held. That would be the treasurer, which I'll never do. Not qualified, and I'll never be the secretary.
Are you sure? This is smart.
I'm part of that. I haven't done a senior deacon, so I just got to think. I thought, after I became worshipful master and got my exit, it's then I really started serving my wife again. To all the offices that I've always told the incoming worshipful masters, I said, if you need somebody, I'm here. Call me if you need me, I'll fill that position the best I can. And I feel I've done my duty to help this lodge keep going. I'm honored that I'm asked to fill that office. I said, I can help this lodge keep going and fill the position that's needed. Someone else may not want to, but I'll take it. So, once again, my services will be for you for next year if I need it. But I've enjoyed this lodge. It's done a lot for me. I had a friend of mine talking about, we were just talking in general last couple of weeks ago. He said, you're really a good person, man. He says, you're upstanding, you have no enemies, you tell the truth, you do the right thing. I thought, wow, Masonry do that to me? It makes a man and it makes him better. You hang around the right guys, take that obligation, and take it to heart. It makes you that person that people can be proud to be with. I felt humble when I was told that. Like, wow, I didn't know I was that type of person. I'm just me, so. But take that to heart, brothers. It'll take you a long way in life. People look up to you at all times and say, yeah, that's my friend. Once again, I'll be at this lodge of service till the day I die.
Thank you.
gotten married about the same time, and I was kind of looking forward to meeting your wife this evening, but we'll look for another opportunity to meet her, sir, but our thoughts and prayers remain with you.
It's been a roller coaster.
Past Master Burnt, Right Worshipful Sir, and the best secretary in Texas. You have the floor.
I am David Burnt. I was master of this lodge in 2018-2019. And I will second what past Master Tunnel's broken record said. Masonry, serving in the chairs, taught me how to be a servant leader. It taught me how to be a better public speaker. In that sense, it greatly improved my career as an educator. It also taught me, especially as somebody who's been a control freak for all of his life, and actually I had to learn this the day of my installation in the East. And I learned it from the brother that was about to be installed as my senior warden. What was it you told me when I started freaking out about something? Day of installation? Trust but verify.
Yeah.
Let your officers do their job. Trust that they're going to do the job. Just make sure it happens. And that has helped out tremendously as I continue to serve the lodge. And it's certainly an honor and a privilege to serve. Sometimes it wasn't the most fun thing in the world to do because it is another full-time job. But it was certainly an honor. And as in the last couple of years, I've become fond of saying, in the last 6 months or so, we may have had to put a new roof on the building during my year, but at least the walls stay standing. Thank you. Drive through Masonry.
Having a great secretary is really important to the lodge. The work that is done in that chair is critical. When the records are not in good order and there's not good flow of communication that happens through the position, things start breaking down. And you do not only a wonderful job here, I appreciate the reporter work that you do at Fort Bend Commandery number 74. So you're very busy and active. Same year when you're right worshipful, as well as taking on other positions throughout Masonry. So, but thank you for being here this evening, sir, and for the continued work. Past Master Smithers, good to have you here this evening, sir.
Thank you. I was master 82 and 83. So ago, it's been almost 40 years. That's all I've been master.
Yes, sir.
During the time that I was master, I guess the highlight of the year was we built the dining facility. Because up until that time, we had a meeting and tried to have a meal, and it was all out here in the foyer. That kind of crowd. But I want to certainly commend this lodge because back in 82, 83, it looked like the lodge was dying out. We didn't have young blood. We had just a bunch of old heads here and, just trying to hang on. But you all have done a tremendous job. You've attracted young people and you've made this lodge a real great thing. I'm thankful for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For your So, Past Master Hernandez, Morton Lodge number 72, and also East Bernard. I don't remember the number 8.
817.
817. So, you have the floor, sir, my good friend.
First of all, I'd like to tell you about my junior warrant time for Elliott. I always increased education. When I had 101, 102 leadership program, I kept on pressing him. I said, you don't know. And we finally did. It was at the Bridge Point Hotel. And the second day, he come back and said, thank you for pushing me. But the main joke about him when I was that sick in January 2000, he took over the cyclone that we, and he broke that 100-year-old gavel we had. And they did a
ship food wagons to the county fairs, Pecan Grove, all the stuff on Market Street, Katie Rice Festival, to raise funds. And no one ever said a word about volunteers. They always do it. It was their obligation. And I can say to Judge Elliott, when I left these, he took over, he kept that place going. And that's why Martin Lodge is shining in the county too. Thank you very much, Judge, for taking over.
I've spent a lot of time with past Master Hernandez, and he has a heart that's made of gold. He has a real passion for his brothers and for the community at large, for widows and orphans. So he's always looking for a way to raise money. We talk about it frequently, and so I know you've had some challenges health-wise, and our prayers continue to be with you, sir. So Morton is represented here this evening. It's interesting that when the dispensation occurred, that we went back to Morton, which is where things began. And so the relationship is strong with Morton. There's actually three officers here this evening. Morton said two. I'm currently the treasurer, right marshal. You're currently marshal, and past Master Hernandez is in the kitchen as senior steward and loves to do that as well. So, but the good news is all of the lodges are doing well. Morton is doing well. Rosenberg also came out of Morton, and I think good things are happening there as well. We see good work at Katie going on, and so it's something that we need to continue to work on and to bring the brethren of 108 together. So I'm proud of that work that's going on and continue to work together. So I'm going to just step back to the next row. I think past Master Spencer, it's good to have you here this evening. So let's turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you. My name is Michael Spencer. I am the junior past master of Katie, though I was there in 2020, 2021. First thing is thank you, the Brethren of Sugarlands, for the hospitality this evening. The meal was wonderful for the senior steward. Thank you for that. And always enjoy visiting with you guys. First Master, thank you again for hospitality. The one thing that I'll say to the guys coming up through the line and getting into the East is remember that you're not alone. I know we've talked about, we're volunteers, you need to be a servant leader, but also remember that you don't have to do everything yourself. You have tremendous resources around you with past masters, other officers, and members that aren't interested in being officers. They have things to give to the lodge. Utilize the talents around you, and don't feel like you have to carry the whole weight yourself. There's definitely help to be had if you ask for it. And once you become a past master, stay around and offer your talents, as many of these guys here have done, missions and the success of your life. So thank you again, Brethren Worship Master.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things. I think Katie is outstanding. Every time I've been to Katie this year, the past masters are very much involved in supporting the lodge, right? And so again, many hands make light a little bit. So those are great words, past Master Spencer. So now we have our junior past master, and as he refers to himself as the Centennial Master, Gavin Sweeney. The floor is yours, sir.
Appreciate Brother Senior Ward, Worship Master, Right Worship Lord, Word, and Brother, family and guests. Thank you for being here tonight. It's my first time here, so good to enjoy it with all of the other past masters that came before me. What? That's all I get. All right. As Brother Senior Warden has said, and I've served with a lot of the officers that are currently in place and the ones before. I am Gavin Sweeney, the Centennial Junior Past Master, Sugarland Masonic Lodge 1141, 2020-2021. With me is my son Porter and my lovely wife, Jeannie. I can tell you she enjoys that I'm out of the East. Talk about the full-time job. It definitely was. In my year, you know, like a lot of us past masters said, that didn't happen in my year. I had a lot of things happen in my year. I had the back end of starting to meet back again with COVID. I had our centennial celebration, 2 of them that we did, one on the official date and one that we did for the public. I had the February freeze, and then we decided, you know, let's try to install a drive-through so we can do drive-through masonry. And I had the gentleman run into our lodge. That being said, hope everybody enjoys the lodge. You're welcome. It also was in my year that, like Right Worshipful said, I wasn't able to keep the charter on the wall because we had to move it to Morgan. So it only took 100 years for us to finally say, well, that didn't happen in my year, and it means a whole different meaning now for me. I would also say that as a junior pass, you know, one of the things, Worshipful Masters reached out to me for multiple things, and we talked about certain counsel and trying to whisper the ear to them. But at the same time, one of the things I had to learn real quick, just like Right Worshipful, was delegation. You know, delegation, by that I mean not a forceful hand on telling people what to do, but to ask for help and continue asking for help. Because brothers want to help, but don't know how to help without ask. So continue asking, continue helping, and keep the lodge going. Thank you.
And serving with you last year during COVID, I mean, what an experience to be in the officer corps and not be able to open the doors and trying to figure out, once things started to open up, what you could do and what you couldn't do. It's been an interesting experience, and we're still facing some challenges there. So, but I thought you did a great job with leadership last year. Still a lot of challenging times. Past Master High Note. And also, still, I guess you're still considered junior past
No?
commander.
Oh, gee, that's
Yeah, because I have not handed off to my successor yet. So, but again, doing a lot of different things in masonry, sir. The floor is yours.
Worship Master, Right Worshipful, Wards and Brethren, family, guests, and my fellow past masters. Everett High Note, 2019, 2020, and I was there. Well, let me just start off. You know, you look at the wall up there, and you can say, up until my year, we've had 99 or 98 past masters. I am considered the 99th, I guess. In my year, we were gearing up for the centennial. We were cooking along. We were figuring out things to do to get fundraisers for it going, and then March of 20. The stuff started going around the United States, and the Grand Master of Texas said lodges are closed. And I had to say to the brethren, sorry, we can't meet anymore. I tried to do what I can with emails, videos, saying what we were doing with the lodge, and what we could do to keep the spirit alive. And I don't really tell people a lot, but I'll tell it now. I felt like I got the wind knocked out of my sails when I had to give that order that the lodge had to do a dark run. I lost my drive and ambition when I was up in the East, and that sucked. But, thinking on that now, that meant I have a lot of unfinished business. I have a lot of unfinished business with the lodge now. So, you stole some of the stuff I was going to say, Randy, but, Randy's right. Past Master Whitaker's right. I think I've made it known that I promised to be around to help out. That was the other unfortunate thing in my year. I started kind of peeking behind the curtain, as it were, looking at the wiring behind all the sockets and switches and seeing what could be fixed about the lodge. And I'm glad, well, I guess it's a blessing in disguise that this thing happened, that we got some upgrades done, but the work is not done yet. We have a long road ahead of us, brethren, to be a really good state-of-the-art lodge, as it were. But I am happy we're now up and running again. I'm happy you got to have your centennial year. What most people do know is that this guy and I walked into the lodge together, and after a little conversation, I was looking up the Shriners on the internet when I would say, "Oh, you got to be a Freemason to be a Shriner." Cool. Not 5 minutes after I clicked the X on the window, this guy walks into my apartment and said, "Hey, you ever heard this thing called Freemasons?" And well, we found Sugar Land Lodge, and now here we are. Truly, truly. And we started come and take it, brought it together. So, it's a lot of fun. And, I'm happy to be here, and it's just a lot of fun to be here. But I still have unfinished business. I'm not going to go through the line again. That's but I'm going to be here to help. I'm going to be here to help, no matter what. I'll keep poking up the wall, see if we need to do anything else.
Absolutely, sir.
They'll poke a card through it.
Could somebody tell past Master Sweeney about the hole in the wall, like we didn't do that in my year? Oh, the moment it happened, I told him that. I was on the phone with him when I walked in, and I showed him the video of it, and I said, "No, Gavin, we didn't do this in my year."
Where's from us, let me also add, in my year, we had a hole in the wall, so having a full wall, we didn't do that in my year.
Yeah, it's hard to believe COVID actually started in March of 2020, and I forgot that was in your years when it began, and that it has just lingered on. So we continue to pray that this terrible pandemic comes to an end. Past Master Householder was Orshal Master when I first joined the lodge, and I was voted on and initiated during your year. So, and those kind of things stay with you. So you were the last one. You were the last one this evening. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, I know, right?
No pressure.
No pressure. I am David Householder. I am past master at Sugar Land Masonic Lodge. Served 2014 to 2015. I'm here with my lovely bride, Wendy, my daughter, Penny. She was in the cradle when I was in the East. And so my wife was a Masonic widow for the first year, and I blessed her for it. She served harder than I did, I swear. But, I'm just a link in the chain, honestly. I'm standing here looking at giants in Freemasonry, Brother Bird, I learned a lot from you. I saw how you conducted yourself, and I said, I want to be just like Bob Bird when I grow up. And I'm still getting that. But we're all just links in the chain. And we can't be the weakest one. You know how chains work. So, brethren, from the oldest past master to the youngest inner apprentice, we're all part of that chain, and we've got to do our part. We got to pull it, because one of these days you're going to be the oldest master mason in the room, and you're going to look down on all these EAs that are coming up behind you, and you're going to think to yourself, did I do the right thing? Did I make the right impression when I was supposed to? And brethren, we're doing it. We're doing good work.
Absolutely.
The past masters that came before me set the stage for me. They were strong, and the brethren that came after me were just as strong. And I thank you for that. And I'm excited to see where the lodge is going with the leadership that we have now, the leadership we have coming up. Being able to take care of this massive undertaking was definitely a task that I don't know if I've been able to do in my year as efficiently, as wonderfully as you guys did. So thank you, brethren, currently who are officers, for all the hard work that y'all are putting in right now. Thank you very much.
And you're a part of that. So. Imagine trying to bring a bunch of Masons together to pick out colors of carpet. And colors for the paint in the lodge. So, but I think we're making good progress. Now we have to deal with the chairs. So, but two things that I want to do before I hand it back over to the worshipful master. Our families are an important part of the Masonic process. So my wife is not here this evening, but she certainly allows me to take a lot of time out of our lives to be a part of this fraternity. And all of you know that is the case. And we're truly blessed to have a supportive family. I know that's something that when we're actually talking with petitioners, that's something that we want to know, that they have a supportive family. Because without that, it becomes very challenging to do it. So I think we should stand up and give our family members that are here tonight a strong round of applause for all they do for us.
That was for you.
Sorry,
Yeah, we
pregnancy brain.
definitely thank you, ladies, for being here this evening and continuing to allow us to be a part of the oldest and greatest fraternity on this earth. So, finally, let's, for those of us that are not past masters, let us just give them a standing ovation for the work that they have done in Masonry and in service to this lodge and beyond. So, gentlemen, so I really appreciate all of you past masters for your willingness to share your experience and wisdom this evening. And this truly is something that every year that we do this and I'm able to be here, that I look forward to hearing about your stories and the work that's been done in Masonry. Some of you I know better than others, but there's a long tradition here that goes back 100 years now. And I think that's truly amazing. So I would encourage you to continue to be a part of our lives, and I appreciate the support that you continue to give Sugarland and Masonry in general across the state of Texas and beyond. So with that, I'm now going to turn the meeting over to our worshipful master, Sammy Larby, for final comments, and I think we have some gifts as well.
Yes. Brother Senior Ward, would you assist me in handing out these gifts before some brief remarks? You want me to open it up for you?
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Got my name on it. Thank you.
So those of you that I knew were going to be here this evening, we have your name on one side of the pocket knife. And if for those of you that I didn't know you were going to be here, if you'd like to get your name placed on the pocket knife, just let me know and we'll get that taken care of for you. So, and then I'll get it back to you. So
That will be here when I'm in the grave.
There he is, Brother Wither. Brother Jordan.
I never expected to stay here. Sir. I could tell you in my field too. One of my trade was being a welder. I could tell straight hair.
I'm just helping.
I wish my son would have come in. He'd have made a good mason.
I'm sure that you would. So that's always tough.
Yeah, it is.
Is there anything you need, sir? Is there anything you need?
I said, I could tell you, you was like me. You was a welder at one time, because the welders can hold their hands free.
Still young.
You're in a spot that I can't quite area.
I kept trying to keep this gift a secret, you know, from some of the past masters in the officer lines. And I let it slip earlier, you know, because
5 minutes before we
you
started.
tricked me, so.
I did not. You cannot say that I tried.
That was a right worshipful move.
Can I say it's power? I can't help it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No, I'll take this one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Which one? I'll hold this one for you.
No, I just need to get rid of some of this traffic.
There's a lot.
The back row is where I belong. Oh, no, come on.
I'd be happy to, but I can't.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming, sir. It's always a pleasure to have you. I didn't get one to you yet, did I? Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And then,
Past Master Smithers, I'll see you as always, so.
now did I get everyone?
Has everybody received a gift?
I think I did, dude, if I'm doing the
And
math
if you
correctly.
want to get if you don't have the name on there, let me know. I'll get that taken care of and get it right back to you, so.
We got those.
Here you go.
Thank you for the meal. You did great.
Well, Larry Fitzpatrick, past master and former member of the Grand Lodge Committee on Masonic Education and Service, wrote an article called The Path to Moral Leadership. And in this article, he says, having left the East, it does not mean that one should abandon it. As a past master, the brother is obligated to give back the knowledge that he has attained over the last several years to the upcoming officers and members in general. He should be available to counsel, teach, mentor, and inspire, but never to meddle. It is as a past master that he is afforded the opportunity to freely assist where needed and demonstrate his real love for the lodge, the membership, and the fraternity. So I think we've heard all about that tonight from all of you and from Brother Senior Warden. I thought it'd be nice to recap with that. In particular, in our lodge, we're lucky to have, I'll call it an embarrassment of riches when it comes to our past masters. As you all certainly have not abandoned the lodge. Your leadership forged the lodge you see before you today, which, as Brother Senior Warden Choate pointed out earlier, is impressive in the amount of work it undertakes. Indeed, even more than shaping the lodge, I can say this lodge would not continue to function today if it weren't for several of you. So on behalf of the brethren in our lodge, we humbly say thank you. Now, if our chaplain had to leave early,
said his wife was feeling a little sick. So we're going to rise, say a prayer, and then we'll call the evening over with. Other than we'll close it in a private ceremony for Master Grace. Brother Hino, would you do us the honors of closing us out with a prayer?
His worship measure. By His. Great Architect of the universe, we thank you for this evening, and we thank you for all these past masters that have served this lodge. We pray for more blessed years for them and for the families that have gathered and for the officers coming through the line. We pray for many more great years for Sugar Land Masonic Lodge. We pray now for safe travel back home for all of us so that we can meet again and bless your name forever. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you all.
Do you want any pictures?
You know, I would love some pictures if the past masters